Morning, everyone. Next, Len, would you open us in a prayer, please? And then I'll do roll call.
Grandfather, today we give thanks for your blessings. Today we ask that you be with us today as we do work for our people. Grandfather, today we pray for many out there that are struggling. Pray for our elders, the ones that are just born, the homeless. Grandfather, today we give thanks for the clean water that you give us every day. This beautiful valley that you put us in. And today I ask you all this in the Creator's name. Amen.
Thank you, Len. Could you do roll call, Jen?
Mike Dolson, Tom McDonald, Jennifer Finley, Jim Molitaire,
Here.
Carol Langford, Danielle Matt, Bing Matt,
Here.
James Steele Jr.,
Yes.
Martin Charlo,
Present.
Len Tootieth, Lenice Trahan.
I'm here, Jen. I'm just slow on my mic button.
Okay,
Looks like we have a quorum present. Also, we have minutes from June 13th. And I made some corrections and I sent those to Abby already. So if you look those over. Everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
Yeah, motion to approve with corrections.
Motion by Len Tootieth to approve the minutes of June 13th with corrections. Is there a second? Is there a second to approve the minutes? Second by Bing. All those in favor? Len? Jimmy abstains. Bing? Carol? And then Martin is in favor. Tom,
Yes.
Jennifer. Oh, sorry, looks like how many? One abstention and 6-4. Did council have anything for agenda this morning? Carol? Is that executive or open? Open. And anyone else have anything? No? All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve today's agenda. Motion by Jimmy. There, second by Carol. All those in favor? Looks unanimous. All right, Jen, do we have some walk-ins this morning?
I have Jay Fyatt first
All right,
on your,
Jay, would you come to the front here, please? Good morning. Absolutely, come on up and just make sure to hit the talk button. Open session or? Open, okay. Morning, gentlemen. How can we help you this morning?
First, we'd just like to introduce ourselves. My name is Jay Fine, and we're all employees at Mission Valley Power. And I'm the substation foreman. And this is Joe Kai, he's an engineer at Mission Valley Power. Jim Hamel and Vern Huancorn are journeyman substation guys.
Can you pull
So,
that mic a little closer to you,
okay.
please?
And we have this document that we brought with us that you guys have, and a little note here. What's that? Oh, okay. So specifically, our issue is on item number 9, but we would like to request that this document is part of the minutes and the public record. And if that, whether or not that necessitates one of us reading it into the minutes, whatever it takes, we'd like to do that. So we can either read it or you can read it first.
Council have any concerns about entering these minutes into the official council minutes? I think if we get a chance to read through it, then we can take that up, that under consideration.
Okay,
But give us a chance to read through it.
Sure.
And then we can, if there's no objection from the council, we could put it into the minutes. But we just seen it, so.
right,
Just give a chance to read, so,
right.
council, I also emailed it to you as well.
okay.
So if you don't want to read it on the screen.
So it is in your email, so you can read it there as well. Go ahead and go with your presentation as we're reading this.
Okay, so what I will do is just, I've had 3 weeks to work on this. If it's okay, just read it out loud.
Sure.
Okay. For the record, greetings, tribal council members. We are here to request a correction to the tribal council minutes of April 25th, 2024, as published in the Charcusta on May 30th, 2024. If there's been a correction submitted on this topic, we apologize, but we haven't been notified as such. This was communicated by Mission Valley Power MVP board members Teresa Wall McDonald, Dan DePoe, Cindy Benson, and Mike McKee. Also present from MVP General Manager Zachary Conco Camel, as well as Shane Morjo and Mike Wheeler, Legal Department. What we take issue with as MVP professionals is specifically as follows in parentheses. Regarding the MVP/engineering contractor agreement, quote, the contractor will supply quarterly updates, on-site project management services, and in-house staff guidance and parentheses, training on how to build a substation, parentheses, quotation. Number 1, Mission Valley Power employees have been building substations as long as the utility has been in existence. We find the wording and communication that MVP personnel must be trained on how to build a substation to be misinformed, inaccurate, and quite offensive to MVP employees and the entire CSKT membership, communicating a negative light to the public. It is our hope that future communication and presentation of information is more thoughtful and accurate in such a way that truly reflects MVP employee abilities and competencies. The substation line personnel and engineering staff have always facilitated building substations as well as warehouse, finance, accounting staff, mechanical, support personnel, etc. Item 3, specifically, substation crews and linemen physically construct substations. Number 4, engineering staff at MVP and other small utilities traditionally collaborate, facilitate, communicate, and procure materials, working along with engineering design firms. Number 5, although we have a young personnel pool at MVP, due to positions not being filled, we do not have to learn how to build a substation. Most recently built at MVP was a Ronan substation, including major modifications to Ronan West substation. Our young engineers were tasked with this process when our engineering manager passed away. We completed the majority of the Ronan substation job with our 3-man substation crew, line crews, and engineers until the coordination of a summer-fall deadline necessitated a contractor with up to 9 substation crew members, as well as a traditional engineering firm commissioning of substation equipment. Item 7, the present Kerr substation project was never held up by MVP engineering or operations personnel, but by past logistical decisions and open positions that they had no involvement with. The West Shore substation project recently added would always require an engineering firm for design, has always been the case at MVP and most small utilities. We request this public correction in the tribal council minutes, as that is how it was presented to the tribal council, the membership, and the general public. A correct wording would be something like, quote, and in-house staff guidance and assistance on facilitating the design of a substation, unquote. I initially requested this correction from the general manager at our regular Monday all-employee meetings, specifically on June 3rd and June 10th, where it was communicated that it would be corrected. We are asking for this correction to be made today as an appropriate minimum professional courtesy to Mission Valley Power employees, the tribal council, the CSKT membership, and the general public.
Questions? Go ahead, Carol.
I don't understand how it could be so misrepresented, to tell you the truth, and I'm like Glenn, I would like to see it corrected, for sure, but I think there also needs to be some kind of apology that.
I would agree. That's why I label this as a minimum. Collectively here, we have 100 years of experience in the electrical industry. And I think it's mainly a matter of misunderstanding. And of course, we don't think anything is, malicious, but the misunderstanding can be pretty far reaching. I mean, I don't think this is something we want to present to the public. It is,
Not at
I mean, apparently there's people that think it isn't a big deal, but this isn't a really comfortable process. But we found in the last 3 weeks, but it's more uncomfortable to not do it. So we believe that we just have to stand up as tribal members, MVP employees, and just do the right thing.
Can I finish?
Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, I also want to say is that there's some things that have come in recently under the direction of this board, and I haven't felt comfortable because I don't, be honest with you, I'm a little bit slower than most. And I don't understand it fully, some of these things that they're bringing forward. And so I've had to abstain and not agree because I just think, you know, you're making major changes to the utility. And it's probably possibly a good thing, but it possibly could really backfire, especially when you get into this electrical side of it. And then I hear some of the stories when I was down there with my grandson in lineman school about people getting shocked to death. And man, it's pretty darn scary. And so you got to be very careful about some of these things that you're changing because only the people that are in the field, the professionals, really know exactly
Exactly.
what's going on. But I'd like to know from the board how they misrepresented this so
Well, I think it's
badly.
large 99.9% misunderstanding. And when several council members came to the Mission Valley Power employee meeting and did sort of an orientation, at that time, Joe communicated to all of them that all the information is here inside of this building. And all that needs to be done is tapped into. And a lot of us been there for a long time, some 30 or 40 years. And it's not a small thing to be just, I don't know how to put it, but one employee said everything is upside down. And I'm not saying, I totally agree with all the infrastructure improvements. I mean, that's not a bad thing. The BIA money is a good thing. Of course, we have to come up with labor dollars and such. This engineering company is also a misunderstanding that this is a new thing. It's not a new thing. We just changed companies due to performance. And it's always a given that you have design firms. Small utilities don't do firm level designing. A substation is largely concrete and steel. It's not an electrical thing. It's more civil engineering, mechanical engineering. It's a team concept. So
Kind of just want to add to that, just nothing major, but what we really want is to have the information presented correctly and accurately. And to do so, we felt that it was best for us to come here and provide that information to you. What was presented wasn't correct, wasn't accurate, you know, because again, Mission Valley Power's been operating for a very long time. And based on what this information presented basically said that we don't know how to do our jobs and that they're bringing people in here to do our jobs, to show us how to do our jobs, which is not accurate, which is not correct, which is just passing on misinformation. Now, all this information is put out to the public and now people, that's the reflection on the tribe. Well, they're hiring these people that don't know how to do this job. Why are we letting them do this? You know, that brings the negativity towards the tribe because the management is under the tribe of Mission Valley Power. We don't want that. So we want it at least to be corrected and presented out to the public the way it was presented out to the public the initial time. Just so that it can be corrected, like, yes, these guys know what they're doing. You know, there's been no major events that's occurred, right? They know what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing. But now you have people out there that might be second guessing, saying, well, what do these guys even know? Do they even know what they're doing? We don't want that. We want the correct information presented back out there where this information was presented. Wherever the first presentation of information went, we want this to go back out that same route so that people can read it correctly and be like, oh, well, that's different then. You know, we're not having to teach them how to do this. They already know how to do this. We're just assisting or helping facilitate and helping move forward. That's what we are asking for here, is just that the correct information is passed forward using the same methods that it used to present the misinformation. So I think that's kind of what we wanted to talk about. bring this forward. You know, it is concerning because it does reflect not us as individuals only, but the tribe, the company. You know, we don't want that negative spotlight there. We want things to be looking forward, and be positive. So we just wanted to make that correction here so it could take the proper channels out. So people notice it now and understand, okay, that was not correct, that this is correct, and here's kind of the accurate information, the truth behind it, so.
Go ahead, Len. Thanks. Microphone.
Oh, there it goes. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you guys for coming in this morning, and I support the request, and I appreciate you guys and commend you guys for coming in and setting the record straight. I remember part of this discussion stemmed from the idea of potentially purchasing a mobile substation. Okay, so I asked a question. I said, well, is our staff capable of building one of these? And because of the liability issues, they would prefer just to outright purchase because they were applying for a grant at the time. So that's what I was kind of curious of. You know, I know we have a lot of intelligent people over there. We have a lot of our tribal member engineers, and it's like, why can't we just put our own mobile substation together? And we'd be the first tribe to do that.
Yeah, Joe can speak more to that, but I would submit that it's a highly specialized task. It starts out with say a low-boy truck frame or two. So probably in the mechanics of it, they could probably build it cheaper. And they would have more access to take specialized equipment that's shorter, et cetera.
Well, Jay, I think it's just the fact that we have the capability and manpower in our own facility to do it. You know, so I thought that was pretty. I think that was pretty neat. But anyway, I didn't really expect a response. I was just wanted to let you know that was part of the conversation that we had that day. So, but yeah, I have no problem supporting your guys' request today, and I appreciate that.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, James. Just Abby, did Zach make a request to correct the minutes?
Not that we're aware of. We were told that he was working on it for a couple of
No,
weeks.
I'm asking Abby. Sorry, Jay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Good morning. Yes, I did talk to Zach Camel, and I told him if he sent me the exact correction that he wanted, that I could correct it. We did talk about republishing those minutes, and I told him that I couldn't republish them in the Charcusta because that's really expensive, but I could issue a corrected set of minutes. And I've not received any corrected language from him any further, because if the council wanted them republished at that extra cost, I would just have to get approval from the council to do it.
Okay, thank you, Abby. I would suggest that we would, based on the conversation with Jay et al., that we would get that language from Zach and correct the minutes.
Yeah, Martin was asking, should this go to the MVP board first?
Yeah, I would absolutely want to make sure that we would have that vetted and come through Zach via the board. And of course, if the Wheeler and Morjo need to look at it, they can, but it looks pretty simple to me. Definitely. So, and I would just encourage the Mission Valley Power staff that aren't licensed engineers to get licensed as quick as possible. That's one of our critical issues. Thank you.
Mike, do you have anything to add to it? Mike Wheeler? Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't see it behind the, yeah, if you could add anything.
Yeah, I'm just getting up to speed on this issue, but I did receive some preliminary information that the fix is in the works, just like Vice Chairman asked. We've got the issue identified and we're gonna get the language back to Abby to fix it. So
Okay.
it's gonna happen quickly. Appreciate you guys coming in, asking for that.
Thank you.
And then I guess just on top of that, just to make sure that the same channels are flowed through so that the information follows that same channel through that. So whoever laid eyes on it the first time would potentially see it again as long as they looked at the minutes again. So again, it's not anything like Jay said, it's not anything malicious. It's just something that we want the correct information out there so that there's not a negative spotlight there. So all of those channels that were previously used to distribute the information to continue to use those. Again, we thought this was the best method to use just because then it gets put into these minutes and then gets distributed out. Maybe not necessarily needing a correction, but as long as the information's passed forward, the eyes can see it again as a corrected version. So I guess that's kind of what we're looking for.
Sounds good.
Is it possible we could maybe put that in today's minutes by the end of the day? Yeah. Just looking for heads to nod. I think we can put it in today's minutes, so,
That'd be awesome.
yeah, once we get the information, so. All right, anything else, gentlemen?
Great.
Yeah, thank you for
Sounds like we're
coming. We
moving
appreciate it.
forward. Thank you, guys.
All right, Ron, you want to come up? Good morning, Ron. I see you got your bodyguard with you. Nope, 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 she said nope.
First of all, we come in front of the council to request a few of the tribal employees if they can get a change of duty station from July 1st, maybe to the 8th, to help us at the powwow grounds.
Yeah, motion by Carol to approve the request, and then I have a list of names here that they've submitted. Second by Jimmy. All in favor? Looks unanimous.
Okay, second of all, I came here, I would like to know what department controls the Arley powwow grounds? We don't. The tribe, the powwow committee has hardly anything to say down there. They changed the locks on us at the gate, which is ridiculous, because the northeast corner up there, all the fences down, they could drive over if they want to get in there anyway. Second of all, Kyle Feldman's crew came in there and they did a good job so far what they done, except for the people that fixed the leaks. That wasn't pretty when I went down there when it rained, and there was a lot of leaks there. But they were down there last night. They were redoing it again, and the person that was fixed the water lines that were broken there, they went up in the ceiling and fixed the water lines, but then they took the tiles out of the ceiling, which were bad, and they never replaced them. And I wanted to know who's responsible for putting the tiles back in that were ruined, but they just left them in the bathrooms. And so do we have to clean them up, or who's going to be responsible for that? And other than that, it seems like the fixings were all done. The stands they look really nice inside there, and except we cannot get nobody to make a decision to get that water pressure fixed. They know what's wrong with it. One pipe is too small, one pipe is too big, and that affects the water pressure. And they looked at that for the last 3 months and talked. We went down there and had the meeting. What needs to happen here? What needs to, it's all the same old story all the time. Yeah, we can do that. But in the last 3 months, you don't see nobody down there that seems to even care. I'm down about every other day or every day waiting for those people to show up to tell us what they're gonna do. But it just, they just don't show up. And so what do we do?
Go ahead, Bing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Also, Ron forgot about the 2 toilets that are broken in the women's bathroom that hasn't been replaced yet. And, yeah, it's 2 weeks before the power, Ron, so yeah, work will start getting done as usual. Every year it happens this time, 2 weeks before the power, then they start work on it to see if they can get everything done, but they don't, so, it's a kind of a formality, I guess, what's happening with the work projects down there. That, 2 weeks before the powwow, like I say, they start working on it, but they don't get the work done. But yeah, I was looking at that water line that you're talking about up there, that goes to the east from the new first aid station. That's about a 3 or 4 inch line that goes up to those spigots up there, going up on the east end of the powwow grounds. And, it'd be nice if you had that big of a line that goes into that, those shower rooms and stuff, where bathrooms and stuff, where water, you'd have enough water pressure to run them. But with the 2 inch line they got in there now, there's no way in the crap that they're gonna keep that water pressure up when you got, I don't know how many showers are in those areas there, plus the 22 toilets that's in the women's end, plus, there's toilets that are in the men's side, along with the urinals. There's no way that 2 inch line is gonna supply all that water to them. So, yeah, last night, I was there too last night, and I seen them guys on top of the roof, and I told them a long time ago when we had that rain down there for the Easter egg hunt that there was leaking. And there were just strips of where the water leaked all through that arbor, to, where the water came down and onto that new carpet. I said, it's gonna mold. It's gonna mold with all that water on it. Again, that's a brand new carpet. So, seemed like there should have been some kind of maintenance to make sure that wasn't gonna happen. I, like you say, Kyle, I haven't seen him at all down there. And I asked Greg the other day, I was in here, Tuesday, and I was talking to Greg about it. I told him that hadn't been done yet, and he was gonna see if he could contact somebody to see whether they could go down and get some of that work done. I don't know whether they asked, but I haven't seen Greg since Tuesday, but, I did talk to Greg and he was gonna get a hold of somebody to do that, but he might have, because those guys showed up yesterday to see if, I don't know if they're sealing it or what they're doing up there, but they were all over hell on the top of the roof with something yesterday, so I don't know what they were doing with it, but, it is a pain in the neck, going all above and beyond not doing their jobs, and I said, yeah, they know what the hell's wrong with that water and stuff, and we've been telling them that that line needs to be changed, whatnot, and it hasn't been done yet, so, but like I say, it's 2 weeks before the powwow, maybe it'll get done, as usual, but, hopefully.
So what kind of recommendations, well, what'd you say his name was that was going down there? That it's gonna be somebody on call there in case those bathrooms go to hell like they have been for the last 3 years. You have to people yelling at you, yelling at Jimmy, and for the water pressure, and that isn't enough for to serve those food stands. They once that bathroom goes down, then the food stands go down too. So, and then having after 3 years, you think they kind of after the third year now that we keep requesting that it gets done, and everybody seems like they turn their back and they're afraid to make a decision of what to do with that water line. But like you said, there's a big water line that goes out to those camp areas. That's a 4-inch line. So can they? I don't know if they. That takes a lot of water. I mean, that's 4-inch lines, and that's irrigating the whole 80 acres out there if you wanted to. So, and it still goes to those spigots, which shows that they use a lot of water. That doesn't include the restrooms and food areas and whatever else is in there. So I don't know. They don't ever come down there. I haven't seen a person down there from the tribe yet. They come down there and look over the situation, what's going on, or anything down there. Kyle comes down, but he's not a tribal employee, I don't think. And what he does, he's got the contractors doing what the contractors are supposed to do, and they do it. And except for these guys that said that they were completed on the leaky roof, which I went down there when it was raining really hard that day, and it's, and if they paid them already, but they came back last night and it was up there again. So I guess we have to wait for another rainy day to see if it really if it's really fixed. But still, they got paid for it. I suppose they got paid for having that leaky roof during this big rainstorm. So, what are we supposed to do? I mean, I don't want to go down to powwow grounds and pass by those stands and yell and cuss at me and because of the water pressure. And that's not my fault. It's not Bing's fault. It's not Jimmy's fault. But still, the people think it's our fault. They come in there and just yell at you and swear at you because they have no water pressure. And
Go ahead, Len. Yeah, excuse me, Ron. Go ahead, Len.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. If I recall, this time last year, we were talking about that water line. The week after the powwow, we were talking about the water line. And so it was our understanding that this was on the scope of work. It was the first item that was on the scope of work that was to get done. And so we were told that a new water line was being put in, the appropriate size water line. And so I just want to suggest perhaps we need to get Lisa down here. And what's that, Jennifer? Oh, okay. And then I'm not really sure what we do at this point in time. I mean, we got 2 weeks left, and I hate to tear up a water line and not have it not get completed before powwow. So we need to look at some other options on what we need to do. But it's like we've been dealing with this same issue before powwow for the past, well, since I've been on council. So anyway.
Go ahead, Len, or Bing, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ron was talking about maybe having somebody on call for the powwow, and I asked John Nice one day, he came in here, I said, John, is there a possibility we can have somebody on call for that powwow in case something happens? And he says, more than likely not. So You know, we had one man up there come up there from Marley and he put that water line in no time. He knew what was going on, what needed to be done and whatnot, you know, and he's a contractor up in Arley that does a lot of, work with, pipes and water and whatever else, you know, he needs to know, you know, but he's pretty good at it, you know, and if, you know, if we can't have anybody there to work on this, you know, like last year, my son-in-law had to go take care of some electrical issues up there that happened because nobody would come down and work on it. So it would be nice if we could have somebody there on call, if we needed to have somebody on call to come and, to work on those issues, and I know we're gonna have them. If the water line doesn't get fixed, we're gonna have them, because with all the people that's gonna come in here at this powwow and no showers, we know damn good and well we're gonna catch hell over a lot of this. So we were talking too about maybe asking, tribal health, if there's a possibility of using the showers down at the community center too, to help with this, you know, with, taking care of these people, you know, so they can get showers and whatnot. So, I don't know, it's just, I know we don't all know what's gonna happen, so, it just, too bad we can't let the people know, you know, that what's gonna happen. And we even thought about shutting half of the, women's toilets, shutting it down so we could only use half of the bathroom instead of the 11 of the toilets, you know, that might help out a little bit, but still, you know, with all the people gonna come and show up, it's gonna be tough to shut them down. But, you know, it's gonna, in the toilets that needs to be replaced, you know, in there that hasn't been replaced yet, it'd be nice that if we have a idea of what we're gonna do here.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Jen.
Just wanted to know what your guys' policy was for the vendor stands. I know there's a 20-year vendor that's always been a food stand, and they didn't get that this year. They text and asked, are you guys doing the vendor? And they said yes. And then next thing they knew, that they were told, you guys needed to reply to us in Facebook, so some non-member got their food stand. And they want to know why they don't get to have their food stand after they've had it for 20 years. And people are all calling and asking them, how come? And they just said they don't get to have the stand now. Every year, all the powwow committees for the last 20 years, they were just like filling out the application, or are you keep having your stand this year? Yes. So then they knew that they were having it. So last year they done it. The year before it was just by a text and verbal communication, and now their stand got taken away from them. They were contacted, and when they were contacted, they said, yes, we want our stand. And then they were told you needed to follow Facebook because there's an application process through Facebook, and most of them don't go on Facebook. Yeah. Right? Wanted to know why they. That's taken away like a food vendor, that's their food vendor, for a person that's just doing fruit cups. That's all they're gonna process taken out of that vendor area is fruit cups. When these guys were, yeah. Well, I've heard it from my family that told me what they were, their food that they've been doing the same stand every year for the last 20 years, working with all the different powwow committees, and they always got that same stand. So I just thought I would ask since you guys were here, so. So they're just out of it then. They've been there for 20 years and they won't get to have it, even though they have the proof of, are you guys having the stand? And they said yes. And then now it's by application. It's not fair. It's just not fair, like how the toilets aren't getting done. It's just not fair that what happened to them in 20 years. So I just thought I'd bring it up.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, just trying to connect some dots for you guys here. Talked with John this morning and I just texted him now. He's in Elmo right now working some other stuff and then he's gonna head down to Arlee this afternoon to take a look at the roof and stuff. SKMM talked to Kyle. He said the roof was completed. The water engineer just finalized the report last week. And so they didn't want to touch stuff until the engineer report was done. And so now the report's done, they're gonna dig into it. So they should. I don't know. I asked them if it was going to be done for sure by the next 2 weeks, but I didn't get an answer yet. But
Yeah, and it'd be good if they kept in contact with Ron and the powwow committee. I mean, they're the ones on the ground, so it'd be good if they kept in contact with them. I mean, they should be calling him and keep him in the loop when they're out there and stuff. If he's waiting for them, why can't they give him like a call or something
Okay.
like that to say, hey, we're out there? The other thing that being brought up too is, you know, kind of to the water, but those toilets as well. So that's something that needs to be repaired. And I know that goes as water pressure, but also the physical toilet as well.
yeah, I let John know about the toilets. He's gonna take a look at the arbor and then the toilets, bathrooms this afternoon. And I'll pass that message along to Kyle to keep in contact with the committee.
Yeah, get Ron's number and give it to him. Say, hey, keep in contact with Ron. Go ahead, Martin.
And I know we did this last year, but can we actually make a formal direction to maintenance to have someone like physically or at least on call? I know last year we requested that, and it fell on deaf ears. So, I mean, let's actually mandate that to Lisa and John that someone's actually available, because I mean, there's always issues and this year's no different, obviously. I mean, again, we're having someone else do our maintenance department's job. And it's embarrassing that we don't get this done. I mean, this is one of the showcases that we put on as a tribe, and it's. And one other question I have is, I know that Ruth came in and we were purchasing a portable shower unit. Is that, we kind of get a report on that, if that's going to be available, maybe put down there to alleviate some of the issues with the bathrooms that we have. And eventually, I would like to see those bathrooms tore down and just rebuilt and make this be something that's like not just a teen center that was repurposed into a shower bathroom, because I think that's part of the problem.
Anything else, Ron, or any other question? Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, I just wanted to, talk about the same issue that's, you know, we've known for a few years what the issue is down there. It is no pressure. We've known that. We've talked about it. We've brought it to everybody's attention and nothing's happening, you know, and here we are again, 2 weeks away from powwow with the same issue. We need to get somebody who's gonna
fix that and just go ahead and we don't need to mandate yet. Fix that damn thing. Get it done. And so we won't have them issues. These are things like Ron said, him, being myself would catch hell down there because the things ain't working. And it's not our fault. But I'd love to see it work, everything work, the showers, the bathrooms. I mean, that should all work good for the 5 days that we're running this show, and it's not happening. It's just neglect on some people's part for not doing what needs to be done. Need to get it done. Need to mandate it.
Great, thank you, Ron. It looks like we got some movement on some of this, so did they get your phone number? Did Tony, okay. Yeah, thank you. So, Martin, you're higher than me, so I'm gonna turn over to chairing the meeting to you.
And now Cindy Marengo.
All right, Cindy, go ahead and come up.
Go ahead, sit up.
One comment, and this is a subject that we've kind of brought up, I brought up a little bit ago last year, was looking at the powwow grounds and looking at setting up an account for maintenance for future, kind of some seed money, and then kind of how we put money into that facilities account every year, because I know talking with John in the past on trying to get some of these things covered, it's not covered under IDC facilities money. And so that's kind of this gray area. Powwow grounds is kind of a gray area. And if we could figure out, we're trying to figure out a plan to propose maybe a seed account with tribal lands, because I know it's, and again, it goes both into maintenance and it goes both in tribal lands department of responsibility, duties, and tasks, but there's not necessarily a budget or funding set up directly to cover these areas of the powwow grounds. And so we're trying to figure out what we can do with that, and a proposal to come to you guys to possibly making a new account that we can replenish every year just for facilities of powwow grounds moving forward. Just to throw that in you guys' head for a little bit.
Appreciate that, Tony. And is Lisa not here today? So I would hope at some point we get a report from Lisa today, if she's available as well. Go ahead, Cindy.
I'm back. I was here May 2nd, and some decisions were made by the council that I was to receive the 2 housing inspection reports that were done on my home, and that I would be able to talk to somebody more about being reimbursed for the cost of repairs that I've had to do to my home until things can get done properly. 2 weeks went by and I never heard anything. So I emailed Miss Hibbler. I told her I was going to be in Pablo the next day, and if I could please stop by her office and pick up those 2 reports. She never responded. An additional 5 weeks went by, and I received an email from Tracy Couture with just a few sheets, partial reports from both reports, not the full report. And I emailed her back and again asked her for the complete reports, and I haven't heard back. My roof is still leaking. It's running down a wall that's 8 inches away from my electrical panel. When this started 8 months ago, I was very grateful that the tribe was doing this. I was very polite and I was very respectful. I don't feel that anymore. I feel a great deal frustration and anger. And after listening to the elder that was here in this chair before me about the powwow grounds, that's our showcase. That's our spotlight on our tribe. And he can't get results. I don't know what to do. I talked to one contractor that I know his reputation, I know he's good. He came and he looked at my home. He read the partial reports that I could provide to him. And he politely told me that he would not be able to warranty his work because of the past contractors' gross neglect. So he cannot do my home. It's been raining cats and dogs, and I've got water leaking from my ceiling onto my floors. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that this is happening. I mean, Patricia and Tracy are here, if they could give an update on the progress or, you know, what's going on with her. I mean, I thought that we had another contractor to go in and do this and correct the mistakes of the previous one.
Good morning. So on June 5th, I did email Cindy back. And I did ask her if she had a specific contractor in mind that could come in and do the repairs. I do not remember seeing an email back from Cindy.
I
I'd have
never
to go
got
back.
that email.
I'd have to go back and look. Cause I wanted to see if we could get a different contractor in there to do the home repairs for her, because she refused to have the initial contractor go back. In fact, during the work, she refused to have him come back in the home a couple different times.
That's not true.
That
is
she
not
had
true.
emailed Patricia Hibbler stating the fact that she had told the contractor not to come back in. So I do have the partial inspection reports that I did send to Cindy. And I just had taken off the first couple pages that was just like basic information. The first one shows the pictures of the roof, the chimneys, the fascia, the gables, moisture reports. The second one shows the repairs. I even highlighted on there specific things that the contractor had said about the roof conditions, possible leaking into the house, things that did need to be repaired from the initial work that the contractor did for her home. And that's where we were sitting, is that we were waiting for Ms. Marengo to get back to us on what she wanted to do.
Can I see that email from June 5th that I never received? This is the last one that I received from you.
That's the only one that you received from me.
That's the only one I received from you, yes. I emailed you several, are you Tracy?
Yes.
Yeah, I emailed you several times 8 months ago and you never responded.
That's because I wasn't on that email.
Yes, you were.
My name was on there, but up above where you sent it, it went to everybody but me. It went to Patricia Hibbler and Patricia Corshane and stuff, but it didn't go to me. And that's when Patricia Corshane would be responding back to your emails.
I emailed you back.
And I don't remember seeing it, but I don't say I didn't get it.
I brought that email to you today. I left it with the gentleman that took my paperwork. The email that I responded immediately to this was, that I requested, and I was told by Mr. Dolson that I am entitled to the full report, not partial. I don't know what's being hidden from me. I don't know why it's been hidden. Yeah. And that's where it stands. I sent them an immediate email after I received this one. And I hope you have a copy of it. I brought it in today.
So, I mean, can we provide her the full report? Cindy, are you trying to get a second report or a second inspection or? I mean,
No, it's had two inspections. It's had two inspections. I want to take them to a contractor who will be willing to do the job and he can see. The contractor that I did speak to, who said he can't warranty the work. I showed him the pictures of the work as it was being done. And he noticed the date on the pictures when my roof was uncovered, and it was almost the end of November. He looked at me and he said, "There's no way that roof is sealed." He said, "The paper, I'm not, the wood, the sheathing is then layered with waterproof paper." He said, "That's what waterproofs your roof, not the shingles. You can lay down beautiful shingles, but if that paper's not sealed to the wood, your house is going to leak." He never puts on a roof, this is what he told me, after the end of September. He says he doesn't even trust it in October to be warm enough to seal that paper. The gentleman that did my house did it at the end of November, and it was already freezing. And I have pictures of it with, because he tore off my old roof, put down the new paper, and left for 2 weeks. And I've got pictures of the paper flapping in the breeze.
I haven't seen any of the pictures, so I don't know.
So we're waiting on her to find a contractor?
Well, I asked her if she had anybody specific in mind, because we could send a different person down there, but I don't know if she's gonna approve of that inspector or not that contractor. And so I didn't know if she had anybody in mind. And in the inspection reports, it does note that there is no ventilation at all in her roof. So that could be a cause of some of the moisture building up in there. There could have been the one vent that was not properly installed by the contractor. And that could be causing partial leaking, but we do not know what Ms. Marengo would like us to do from here forward.
I asked you, I wrote you for both complete inspections so I can take them to a contractor that the tribe would approve. And I haven't heard back.
Mhm. And I know one reason is because we paid for the inspection reports. And then that's why we didn't give her the entire one, which was just missing the first couple pages.
I believe Mr. Dolson said I was entitled to the entire report.
Mhm.
I had no idea they have more clout than the council.
Can we just provide the entire inspection and, you know, get this done as quickly as possible? I mean, again, Patty Hibbler's email made it sound like we were kind of on a path to get this worked out and completed. And here we are again.
When did you receive that text? Can I ask?
I would have to go back and look at within the last 2 weeks.
Patty Hibbler has not contacted me. Not at all.
So, yeah, Cindy, I'm sorry that the communication hasn't been there. We definitely, you know, but also, you know, we got to make sure that we're including, you know, Tracy and all the parties involved in these emails. And if she's not included, what she doesn't know, she doesn't know. And so you know, let's work with Tracy to get that done. If you have a contractor in mind, you know, please provide that. But if not, you know, Tracy, let's, you know, let's get some contractors and get this done as soon as possible because, you know, it is the month of, or the summertime and construction it's a good time to be doing this. And let's get it done before, before snow flies again.
I'm sorry that I had no idea that Tracy was not receiving those first, emails that I sent to her. They were directed to her. But not only did I send emails, I stopped by her office on a couple of occasions. I called and left voicemails that were never returned. I tried to contact her. I've tried, I've sent several. I don't know how she didn't receive them. I don't know.
And, you know, we gotta, yeah. Yeah, the email that I received from Patty Hibbler was on the 12th of June.
Patty
So-
Hibbler has not contacted me.
So, I would hope that we can, yeah, just do a better job of communicating and making sure that we can get this done. And you know, again, I'm sorry that the last contractor didn't uphold his end of the contract and everything, but I think that, you know, I have faith in our staff here to get it done and do it correctly. You know, we're having an issue with contractors, and so we're kind of taking on as many as we can, and obviously some of them aren't up to par. So again, I apologize for you know, their deficiencies, I guess I should say. But yeah, definitely let's try to get this worked out, and you know, we'll do a better job, you know. And Tracy, I'm sure will provide that to you. And you know, if you have a contractor in mind, please get that information to her. We can get them vetted and everything that we need to through our, you know, through our process and everything. But yeah, I again, that email I got a couple of weeks ago was, I thought we were on the right path. So to see you here was kind of a surprise, to be honest with you. So.
No,
Thank you, Martin. This is an executive staff responsibility. And so I want to turn it over to them, and I would suggest that we give them 10 working days to give us a solution and a plan on how they were going to address this and report back to us weekly on updates on where we're at. That's what I'd like to suggest, how this council handle it, because it appears that there's a communication breakdown here. So we just need to hold the executive team accountable for these types of services that we expect them to provide our members.
And if I can, the one reason I was asking Ms. Marengo if she had a specific contractor is because if they were not already an ARPA contractor, it could take anywhere from a day to a couple weeks to a month to get all their documentation in place to be able to do a contract. And that way we could have gotten that rolling a lot faster. But I can provide her a list of our roofing contractors that we do have on in case she just wants to pick one of those.
the person I have in mind, is from Kalispell. He's already done some roofing for the tribe. I haven't contacted him yet. Again, I'm waiting for those inspections so we can sit down and talk.
Cindy,
Yes,
if you want to walk across the street with us, I'll get you those reports shortly.
thank you.
Good, James.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There's definitely a breakdown of communications. I'm sorry you're back. I really believed when you came in the first time we were on a good path, but obviously we didn't get there. So I'm sorry for that. We want to fix your roof. I think everyone here was believing that, and I'm sorry that you're frustrated. And I know with the recent rain, I was just thinking, I literally was at my house thinking, I hope her roof's done. And I apologize for that, but we want to see your roof get done.
Thank
And
you.
I think that was a commitment that, you know, the more organization made, and granted, emails and things didn't get right, but we need to figure this out and get it done. That's just my feeling.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, if you guys, if you can work with our staff, I know it's probably frustrating, but, let's try to give them an opportunity to get this done, get it done correctly. Good, Carol.
Yeah, I just want to say that there's been a lot of great things that have been done, so we just need to make sure this gets done and we'll be on a good path. Thank you.
And yeah, Tracy and, Patricia, make sure that we get an update as soon as we get a contractor in place and everything, because again, this email from Patty Hibbler, not you guys, made it sound like it was in process and everything, so.
That's my fault. I had directed Tracy and them to give her the reports. I wasn't aware that she didn't get the complete reports, and I'll own that.
Can I ask one thing of Lynn before, this is not ARPA. I've been transporting children from Elmo to Polson, and I was told by Travis Fisher today that I need something in writing that gives me permission to use the GSA to transport them, or else I can't use the GSA. He's worried about legal or.
Okay, I will ask, Jordan Thompson to work with you on that.
Okay,
Okay.
who's that?
Jordan Thompson, he's our acting CEO.
I'll
Okay.
bring her down there as soon as we start on the next issue.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, my sister's in the hospital and I need to get going, but I had two things that I needed to cover with council if I could. One was the thing I sent out to all of you regarding the skate park in Ronan. Me and Tom both agreed with that, we could move forward, but I wanted to just make sure council was okay with it. It's a special design with a teepee. And hoping that you guys agree, otherwise we'll have to not do it because they need to know ASAP.
And I apologize, I didn't respond to that email.
I
I
sent
should have.
pictures to everybody.
So, yeah, I concurred with that. I don't know if everyone saw the email. It was kind of a cool teepee design that the actual skaters can kind of go inside. So I'm assuming it's like a hat, like a bowl with
Yeah,
the ability to do. So if council concurs, let's go ahead and do it.
and the other one was a letter from Zen Perry regarding the water situation in Ronan. And Tom had said he'd done a letter of support for them, but they'd also requested a letter from me. And I asked Dan, and it sounded like Dan said it should come from the council because it's dealing with water. And so I'm just need to have approval, and I gave it to Jen and she could put it on letterhead for the chairman's signature.
I didn't actually see the attachment wasn't on my email,
Okay.
so. But yeah, as soon as I see it, I think that we could all concur with that.
Yeah,
And I guess while you're here, I want to kind of codify the fact about the treatment center, that we haven't made a decision on that, and maybe send an email out to Jennifer Finley and Patricia Hibbler to that effect, that, I would like a full council vote on that before we make a decision on the location of that, or having that physically be here on the reservation. So, yeah, thanks, Carolyn. Yeah. Tony, you're up.
My goal is to get you back on schedule. No, just give you guys a quick update. Working with Jack Ola at looking at the Dewar facility, new building, NRD Dewar facility. Gotta call it one thing, yeah. So this is kind of the conceptual design that we've come up with. This is kind of the outside here. This would be, so first thing I want to discuss here is we were tasked to look at two different sites. The Ronan area, by across from, or at where Dewar's at right now, by the health center, and then another site out at Kicking Horse. For multiple reasons, we're really heavily leaning towards the Ronan site. It's greater public access, public view. It has, water lines that are already there that connect into, instead of adding another 400 to 500 feet of water lines. It's, and the staff preference really realistically is there. And so what I want to come in today is just kind of give you an update that that's kind of where we're leaning towards, kind of get a consensus from you guys, because we're still analyzing both sites. We still want to conceptually do both sites, but we're going to put more of our eggs in our basket of the Ronan site to move forward. So, this is kind of the idea of how it'll look from outside. Vaulted ceilings, very nice. Kind of matches that same design and tone of the health center that's right next door. Still coming up with ideas. I don't know if you can see here right at that front entrance there. There's kind of an idea of adding metal poles that go into a focal point of the first biggest vaulted ceiling that looks like a teepee, and then inside the teepee. So Jack Ola's got a lot of good ideas to kind of move forward here. Can I move down? There it goes. So this is kind of the floor plan, the area that we're looking at here. So it's going to be kind of an L-shaped building with parking, plenty of parking on the outside. The existing shop area is going to be still there and still be utilized. Kind of a traffic flow with GSA cage parking in the back here. We're also looking at a potential idea of making this a U-shaped, upside down U-shape, for potential expansion or more inclusion of more NRD programs there. So, and Jack Ola thinks it's not going to be, it's pretty cost prohibitive to be able to do it with this design. So we're potentially looking at making it just a U-shape, which would be kind of very, very nice, and have more of our NRD staff in one area. But my request today, it's not really a motion, but it's more of a consensus with you guys to continue looking at the Ronan site for the main idea, main site to move forward with the NRD Dewar building.
So would 24/7 be?
24/7 would be included here. We have kind of a rough floor plan idea, but we're still coming up with them, but we're looking at possibly one end of the building be 24/7, kind of a secured spot, have their own exit entry, different gas fire extinguishers in the system in there, so for the computers, kind of a kitchen area, break area, kind of for themselves, grouping a few of those like programs with next to them, such as engineering, roads, and then kind of the water compact implementation team on the other side, and then the admin staff and department head right there in the middle. So
I would encourage to build as many office spaces as possible. I know that's one of the issues we have throughout the organization is space. And so if we can make it bigger, and it's not too expensive, I would say go for it. Well,
bigger.
but that's me. That's council decision as well.
And we're trying to get away from the design of every enclosed office. You know, we're trying to have more of an open space with closed office for managers and division heads. But trying to keep a unique shared office space design that will allow for expansion, internal expansion also.
So any objections to,
Tom had his hand up.
oh, sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I think any design component would need to, potential design would have to look for expansion of the building for additional people to be at that location. But I'm also curious whether or not, this is what's so disappointing with the tribal health building, is that there's no solar panels on the roof. So my question is, are you planning for that as a design element of the building? Also, maybe even the electrical plugins for cars, vehicles?
Great ideas, Tom. We'll make sure to push that along. Like I said, we're just, before we start really building into more of what this building's gonna have and going further and further into that process, we wanted to just update you guys that this is the site, really a discussion on the site, that this is where we wanna start to put more conceptual design into this site. But definitely we're just starting that phase, Tom, to look at what we all need here. And ensuring that we're doing this as green as possible moving forward. A good
Well,
show building for future tribal buildings to follow.
yeah, I just think that it needs to be a mandate that we would make sure that we have alternate, options for electrification of the building and reduce our cost of the physical plant by having solar, and providing that opportunity for an electric fleet for vehicles. So thank you. I enjoy the Ronan site. I think this is preferable over Job Corps, definitely.
Thanks, Tom.
So any objections to the site being in Ronan? Well, with no objections.
Good. Yeah, and that was just kind of Jack Gola's request before we started going further. They wanted to ensure that this was the site that we wanted to move forward with, so. Okay. Thank you.
Question, Mr. Chair.
Go, James.
Yeah, thank you. So remind me exactly where this is, Rich or Tony?
So right across, right on the highway, right across from, Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, right in that
Yep.
area. Okay.
So this corner piece right here, this main entrance is gonna be facing the highway right there. The highway will be coming right there. Boys and Girls Club is just to the right off the screen there. And the new, tribal health facility is over here.
Okay, thank you.
Kind of this is, what I really like about this is it kind of showcases the tribe. These guys know it was my hope to be in Ronan, so we can kind of shove it in the face of some anti-compact people, and to see that we're here, we're not going away. Anyway.
Thank you.
Guys. Whisper, you're up. Thank you.
Pesquex Pesiar. I am here this morning to present the final draft, which I uploaded to our joint teams group of the 2024 SKQ submittal for funding for our mitigation work. We're on page 2 with the request. Now, final step was to take this to our consultation group to get final approval or comments back from them. On page 3 is our appendix H, which this year we did have a couple of comments, which we haven't in the last few years. EKI made some comments, that were just some housekeeping, cleaning up stuff that, Cody Gocklish was able to correct, and we communicated with them. And then additionally, the Bureau of Indian Affairs had requested information on some grant funding they'd provided us for lake trout suppression that will go in next year's submittal. And then they had a question about explaining flow deviations and clarifying circumstances for flow deviations. We responded that we address small variations in the small deviations. Those are often just recording errors. And then we looked back through some of the previous reports that talked about EKI and CSKT working together, our staffs, to have some protocol to discuss the larger deviations. When I went back and looked at those, it had been kind of variable over the last few years. We talked with EKI staff and committed to solidifying our protocol for next year and getting that uniform going forward. They have reported in the past, then a couple years we didn't report. I think maybe it was just changes in staffing. So I think that we're set, we're good to go. And this, if you approve it today, I will put it on 2 flash drives and send it out to FERC and BIA by certified mail today.
Mr. Chair. James. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we have, so you mentioned EKI did get a look at it, and we've had their comments in, whatever they might be.
They do get a chance to look at it, so they reviewed the first draft and they made comments there. And then none of us, I guess, had the large deviations on our radar that BIA picked out. That's the Hydropower Regional Director in Portland. He's new. I'm not totally sure the last guy was really reading it. I think maybe he was just stamping it and sending it on. And now this gentleman is reading it and being engaged. He's been good to work with. His name is Stephen Lewis, and we appreciate his comments.
He's the new regional director.
Hydropower Director.
Hydropower, okay,
Yep.
thank you.
So we'll need a motion
Motion, Mr. Chair.
motion by James, second by Danielle. All those in favor? Like unanimous with Carol out of the room? Yeah, thank you.
I might have forgot to bring the letter. So I might have to pop back down later today and get my letter signed. It's a little form letter that says we're submitting. I just realized, my bad.
Looks like we'll be here until about 4:30,
I will be right back. Thank you.
maybe till 2.
I'll be here before then.
Yeah, with that, we'll go into executive for I would entertain a motion to what was the first, approving the,
to approve, the, MOA and LOU for, Mission Valley Power supervisory issue.
motion by Len Tutti, second by Jimmy Muller. All in favor? Unanimous with Carol out of the room. And the next, issue is, go ahead and state it, Shane.
To approve the, current, collective bargaining agreement negotiated between the contractor, Mission Valley Power, and the union.
I'd entertain that motion if anyone would like to make it. Motion by James Steele Jr., second by Danielle Matt. All those in favor? Unanimous with Carol out of the room. Thank you guys, and yeah, appreciate the heavy lift that you guys did on that. That was, I thought we were gonna have to wait for them all to retire.
All right, thank you, guys.
And Abby, maybe don't put that in the minutes. I forgot we're open. Want us to go back into executive?
Yes, if we could go back in executive for John's issues, then that would be great. And then I think we'll wrap up and then I'm just gonna head out. I think John can handle this. It's an employment. I don't want to be involved at this point in time with any of that. So I would rather
Okay.
step away.
We will move out of regular back into executive.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. I just wanted to briefly state for the record, based on our last conversation about the employment issue, and for the record, I strongly oppose the staff decision to hire an out-of-state non-member for a key position. There was 2 tribal members that could have had an opportunity for this position. This council needs to be more cognizant of what's happening in our tribe when it comes to jobs. This is one of many reasons why I will be advocating to end this reorganization. Because we're not being informed a lot of the issues that we need to be involved in. We just cannot forget who we work for. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. I appreciate you allowing me to put those comments in for the record.
Thank you, Lynn. We'll move out of regular back into executive. Regular.
No, did you already did it? Oh my gosh, never mind then. Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, you can give it to a hitchhiker or somebody. Good afternoon. Yes, give it, spread the wealth. So my name is Renee Dubé. I work for SKC USDA Extension Department for Virgil Dupuy. I'm an outreach specialist, and I've been doing, we've had this summer program since 2019. It's from the USDA Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service in their Office of Tribal Relations. And I don't want to read the slide to you necessarily, but there's only 6 tribal colleges that have this program. And everybody does 10 days straight, except Menominee. But these students, 16 students finished, have been in teepees at Blue Bay through the rain, the hail, the sleet, the long days. They've really done remarkably well. You should be very proud of them. So, is there a way I can make this, Martin, can I make the pictures go away or not? What? Don't worry about it. I just want them to be able to read. So what they've done is they've worked, it's okay. So the students have worked in teams of 2 to 3 to share with you what they learned, what they took away from the camp, maybe some new careers. So we have Cameron Chi and Oren Jarvis. And I'm going to let Cameron start.
Good afternoon. My name's Cameron Shi. I'm from Danette up in Arizona. My mom's name's Tara Chi, and my stepdad name is Daryl Morris.
My name's Oren Jarvis. My mom's name is Becky Jarvis. My dad's name is Jerry Jarvis, and I'm a junior in Runner High School. The first career choice that I picked was welding. I've always wanted to do welding since I was pretty little, and it's just a pretty high paying job, and there's a pretty high demand for it. So that's just what I want to do.
I'm going to interrupt. SKC starting, a new welding program.
Sorry about that. I didn't mention where I went to school to. It was Polson High School, and I'm a sophomore. So this one's wolf trapping. This one was from Bobby. Well, he taught us about how the wolves moves and all the patterns and how they live. So when you're trapping, you know how they come across. He was showing us that all the way down to the hand to the forearm is like the best way to find out to put your mace right there. And so he dug up a hole, he put the trap in, he made sure it was secure, and he took some parchment paper and he put it on top. So when he was shaking dirt on it or something, that it could stay clear so no rocks would be on there. And once he was finished, he covered it back up and made sure it was nice and clear. So when the wolf came, it would step on it and it would get caught. But the trap wouldn't really hurt the wolves at all. And once he catches them, he would put trackers on a wolf, and then when they go around, he would put pens on each spot to know where that wolf would go each time to figure out where all the wolves are. Forest firefighting was my goals. For forest firefighting, you would have to take a pack test and a physical test and test to become a firefighting. I learned that SKC can offer all that for me and all the opportunities to become a forest firefighter. Forest firefighter takes you to different areas that need to help put out forest fires. Forest firefighting connects to learning about the ecosystem, which connects goals to knowing what's around me. Fisheries. I've learned from fisheries is that they pull the fish out the water to sell and help eliminate the invasive species. Being employed in the fisheries causes you to learn more about what kind of fish you caught and about its body parts. Boat checks help keep out other species that can cause harm to our lakes in Montana. Species like zebra mussels and algae.
So on my presentation thoughts were that I thought like a lot of the things we're gonna learn were gonna be like farming and like basically like ranching and stuff. But when I was there, we learned about like forestry and like fisheries and wolf trapping and stuff like that. It was just a new experience for me because I found out new jobs that I could have and new jobs that I could work towards if I needed them. And like my camping thoughts. At first, I was pretty scared because like I didn't know a lot of people, or I knew a lot of people, but like there were still people to meet, and I didn't know how I was gonna be. And then like the same day, I felt pretty good because I just connected to everybody, and it's pretty easy to get along with everybody.
My presentation thoughts and camping thoughts. My presentation thoughts. The presentation helped me know more about different careers that were new to me. Camp has taught me more about my careers, which is forest firefighting and barbering. All the people that helped me learned about my goals and helped me figure out more career choices I could choose to go through was energy keepers, but that talked about our goals, wildlife biologist, that was the wolf trapper, fisheries, which talks about fish and its population. My camping thoughts are coming to this camp, I was nervous, but I wanted to talk to everyone to get to know them. So after a while, after camp, I got to get to know everyone and it helped me make new friends and learn more opportunities about more about my career.
That's our credits and stuff.
Good afternoon. My name is Ariana Means. My parents are Joel Means and Sheila Shoulderblade. I'm from the Northern Cheyenne tribe and I just graduated from Arley High School. I plan to go to SKC and major in Divine Arts in the fall.
Okay, nakokoax natanaku station was begin nista api Arley nixist anista shane tutis ning anista Michael Fry nistu abskapi pakani. Hello, my relatives. My name is Station North Pagan. I live in Arley and I'm going to be a senior there at the high school. My mother is Shanae Tutis and my father is Michael Fry, and I'm part of the Blackfeet Nation.
Hello, everyone. I am LaRose Black. I am a graduate at Ronan High School. My plans for this fall is going to Fort Lewis in Colorado to major in studio arts, and my parents are Davida Finley, Leroy Black Jr., and Yvette Makes Cold Weather. So the viewing of our camp is, we thought this opportunity was going to be very inspiring and encouraging and exploring new careers. We thought this would be a great opportunity for all the kids that wanted to find a new career, and we thought it would be amazing, and we thought it would help gain our skills for jobs in the future because most people don't really talk about how to gain skills for jobs and everything. So we thought the staffs and the presenters would help us and meeting amazing people that would give us great opportunities. Because the staffs like helped us a lot with showing us new careers and opportunities that we didn't know about. And the camp, we thought the camp could help kids feel more grown up and help them pick their careers because most kids nowadays don't really focus much on their career. So this camp really helps out with that. And it's really fun. And we met a lot of new people and it was a fun experience and a bunch of good memories. And so we're talking about our favorite presenters, and mine was about the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service and Plant Protection and Quarantine. And Lori Whitham presented that to us, and she talked about how they like keep the insects, like bad insects, out of the Montana, and how they really try hard to keep Montana protected and a good place, as most places got infected with bad insects. So these guys are trying really hard to keep it clean and safe from the bad insects, and they always have to go through the food and everything to make sure there's none of those insects in the food that come in Montana. And it was just very interesting because I thought that I never knew that people did that, so it was very interesting.
So this is like stuff we've learned slash achieved. It's been a great experience being here. It's an opportunity that most kids probably don't get. While here, we've explored environmental jobs that we never knew existed. Since last year, Renee's been preaching to me that you can't prepare for a job you don't know exists. So yeah, these are jobs that will help us to better slash give back to our communities. We've learned about natural resources, agricultural topics such as, like Rosie mentioned, the APHIS plant protection quarantine. They work with the tribe to eradicate the Mormons crickets from our agricultural crops. And we've also developed skills we need in the future, such as presenting. A lot of us have learned how to play stick game. We did fire making using like natural resources, tomahawk making, and we've also learned a bunch of cultural songs. We have a food song and a good morning song that we sing every morning. And then some things we achieved are meeting new people, making new friends. We've all gained more knowledge and hopefully retained that knowledge. So one career that I'm interested is it's a tick rider. So they go around on horseback and they like check animals for ticks and diseases. And then they patrol any livestock or cattle that's coming into the US. There's a fever going around. It's called cattle fever. It's a disease. These ticks, they carry diseases and they can kill herds and stuff. I'm interested in this career because I enjoy being outside, being around animals, riding horses, and I would like to help and save the lives of animals. And also, it's important to us because we consume these animals, so we don't want to be like eating and disease-infested animals. This career would help protect my community by preventing diseases and loss of animals. The career the career I chose was the wildland firefighter, and the people that told me about this was Richard Bulltail Jr., also known as Ricky, and then Jared Swan, who's from Yakima Nation. And the first thing that he told me to put on was chain of command, which the chain of command is just a series of positions of authority or rank within an organization that are
ordered from highest to lowest. And then we got the 5 ICS functions: command, operations, planning, logistics, and finance. Command is responsible for the overall management of the incident. It just deals with the strategy and tactics. And then operations function is to accomplish the strategy. Command develops by directing the tactical objectives. And then planning, the planning's function is to collect and evaluate information that is needed for preparation of the action plan. Logistics provides services and supplies in support of the tactical operations. And then finance is just mostly paperwork. But something they emphasized a lot was trust, and like if you're gonna be out there risking your lives or and whatnot, you have to have like trust in your work crew, which will help with like both of your guys' safety. Another thing they talked about was proper preparation prevents poor performance, meaning you have to go in there like knowing what to do and like just paying attention and like those classes and whatnot. So then when you're there in the moment, you're ready. But why I am interested in this career is because it's outdoors. I like being outside a lot, and if I were to go into this career, it'd probably be in command or operations. And then another thing they talked about was fire family, which is just basically they create bonds there, and like you have to, like I said before, you have to build trust, and so like you trust in those people, and it's just like it's a fire family. And then my last reason was because you'd be helping communities. And yeah. What do we think about this camp? I think we think this is a great opportunity for the upcoming generations. I know there is like a lot of upcoming freshmen coming here, and it just kind of helps them get ready for like if they want to go into something with like an environmental side of careers. It's an amazing experience to explore different environmental careers. As I said before, it's like it's not just like the same things, it's like different ones. And then children can enjoy engaging, entertaining educational experiences at this camp. It teaches the high school kids about potential careers and provides them with the workplace experience and soft skills they'll need for the future. During the presentations, they talked about like what kind of schooling we need or whether or not we could just sign up. And I thought that was really important, especially if we don't know what we want to do or what we need to do that career.
So our next presenters, they're going to introduce themselves, but they've all done such a good job. I'm just proud of them.
Good afternoon. My name is Lawi Moore. I'm going to be a sophomore at Polson High School this coming fall, and my parents are Lawson Sanders and Caroline Moore.
My name is Vinny Shepard. I go to Mission High School. I'm going to be a sophomore. My parents are Vinny and Haley Shepard.
Hey, I'm Danon Lindquist. I go to Polson. I'm gonna be going up to Polson High School. My parents are Caroline Moore and Danon Lindquist.
So this is about fish and wildlife. I can't read that. Wildlife fisheries, I think. TED help protect their animals, set up traps for predators that kill livestock, putting tracking collars on the predators to monitor their activity in the wild, help people gain more awareness about protecting their livestock and set up fencing and other protection for livestock. Wildlife are one of America's most valued public resources, yet in the dynamic landscape Could be, you share wildlife related problems, livestock predation, crop losses, property damage, diseases, threats, and more are common. We work nationwide to help solve these problems while considering a wide range of public interest. And we got that information from APHIS.
Four main goals of wildlife services are to provide wildlife services protecting agriculture, wildlife, and natural resources, property, and human health and safety. They also develop effective methods and strategies with technology that are biologically, environmentally, and socially sound. They value and invest in people with an organizational culture that promotes innovational and as federal leaders of wildlife management. They inform and communicate, collect and analyze internal and external communication to build an understanding of federal role in these efforts.
Ted North, he was an animal trapper. Ted explained trapping to us. He said you have to understand the animal and its ways of living. He said a trap, it has to be in a spot where the animals are walking all the time. There's a lot of land and there's a little trap that a bear or a coyote has to step on. The trap does not hurt the animal. Ted showed us how to set a trap, and someone put a stick in it like it was an animal's leg.
On Tuesday, we went out to the lake with the fishery workers on their boats. We got to see how they use the nets and how they catch the fish. They put gill nets that are around 300 feet into the water. Then after a day, they pull up the nets with fish in them. Some of the fish bellies expand because they're so deep and come up too fast, so they poke a hole in the stomach to deflate them. We took the fish and brought them to Cindy Benson, where she showed us how they process the fish. After this, they bring them to the fishery, cut the head off, and then put the backbone of the fish into a machine that slices its belly open, pulls the guts out, and separates the backbone and the rib bones from the fillet, which is then packaged and air sealed into the finished product. The reason they are gill netting is that they are trying to get rid of all the invasive species that are taking over the lake, which takes a long time. The invasive species take over the natural habitat of the non-invasive fish. The lake trout are eating all of the bull trout and cutthroat trout, which are a vital key to the lake's natural habitat. I enjoyed this presentation because I think their job is interesting, and I really enjoyed how she explained everything. Before this camp started, I did not know about the careers we have learned about. I learned about more job opportunities and career choices. As this camp goes on, I am learning more about what these jobs do on a daily basis.
What I learned is that you can do a lot of stuff instead of playing video games, like make a stick game set or ring on a stick.
The first day we came to camp, I didn't know anybody. I didn't talk to anybody. As the days went by, I started getting to know other people, and now I'm friends with all the guys. This camp has been fun and a good experience.
This slide is on native restoration about Louis Adams and what he did. Louis was a full-blood Salish who served on the Flathead Tribal Council for 28 years, combining that work with a 35-year career in forestry. He was looking on the reservation as one of the keepers of the culture and had a degree in cultural preservation from Salish Kootenai College. There's also a video. not working.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carla Jade Morsho Baker, and I'm going into my senior year at Toledo River School. I came to this camp looking for a better chance of understanding what to do with my future career. And listening to the presentations I was attendance of, I know this was a good opportunity being at this camp. I learned about how much the outer staters in our community are affecting our land and culture of it. They're bringing in invasive species in and they're bringing in invasive species, plants, and are destroying our ecosystems. Ian, with the Department Land of Resources and Land Environmental Science, he explained how all the invasive plants, he explained all the invasive plants and how the invasive grasses can affect our native plants. The solutions they come up with are very effective, integrating herbicides to suppress invasive grass. With the seeding of herbicides, they also do drill studies and greenhouse trials that can help research more on how the plants are grown. CSKT fisheries staff member took us out on the boat and talked about how they are restoring the native fish and eliminating the non-native fish in our lake. And to do that, they have to reduce lake trout population. And a couple of solutions they are doing are angling contests and gill netting to capture the invasive fish to process them and leaving our native fish in the lake, which is very beneficial for the lake's ecosystem. And another career I was interested in was Maros Morjos. She talked with us about illegal dumping on the reservation, how often it happens. She explained how burning treated products such as wood, plastic, and paper can release hazardous chemicals and toxic gases into the environment. Illegal dumping also has impacts on the ecosystem by polluting our state waters, damaging our soil quality, and affecting our air quality from burning activities. And it's neglectfully impacting wildlife also.
This also affects our communities as it's a health risk. Dump zones are breeding grounds for insects and they become very busy spots for the animals that transmit diseases such as rodents. So on how we can fix this problem is we could just raise more awareness on how bad it is. We could report the dump ins that are in the areas and make stricter laws and just reduce our waste and recycle. Not much.
Eso Pesia, Majas Luis Quest. I'm Maha Bell and I'm gonna be a junior at Two Eagle River School and my parents are Cheney Bell and Echo Brown. Out of all the presentations, Jordan's was one that stood out to me, and Jordan presented on federal Indian law and gave us a brief historical overview. He talked about the development of the reservation since treaty times. He also talked about the ongoing fight by the tribes over the many decades to defend sovereignty, such as the Water Compact and the opening of fee land to non-tribal hunting. This presentation was one, was one that I liked. It just stood out to me. It was overall very interesting. This camp was very helpful for me and got me to begin on what I want to major in college. Another one that stood out to me was Blair Libby's from the CSKT Wetland Specialist Natural Resource Department. And he talked about the wetlands and waterways that are abundant on the Flathead Reservation. There are a lot of acres of wetland on the reservation, excluding the deep water portions of the Flathead Lake. Flathead Lake is 5% of the reservation's total area. On the reservation, there are 1,000 miles of perennial streams and rivers. Some topics from his department that he talked about were wetland plants, wetland function, species of concern. Those are just some of the things he talked about. I didn't know much about, I don't know, I can't see that one. Oh. I didn't know much about this department and the concerns about the wetlands and all of the different things he talked about, so I'm glad I got to hear about the NRD. Thank you. I'm done.
My name is Sadie Spot Eagle. I'm going to Chemawa School, and I came to camp to learn about the different job opportunities that are related to agriculture. Now that I've been here, I've learned a lot more careers that I didn't know much about. I had fun experiences learning two careers I found interesting were AJ Bigby's CSKT Department of Lands. They don't use drones for several purposes, including protecting tribal lands from trespassers and cattle, to assist with fire suppression and other uses. Dr. Scott is the head of APHIS Veterinary Services of Montana. Dr. Scott is a veterinarian who gets into hazard suits for his own protection from any diseases the animal he's inspecting might have. He also protects and improves the health and quality for animals.
We should have helped Sadie put in a picture. Dr. Scott put him in full hazmat. or PP, protective gear, taped them up. Yeah.
I'm Tony Lozo. I'm a junior at Ronan High School. My parents are Yvette, Mace Coweather, Leroy Black Jr., and Kenneth Lozo.
Good afternoon. I'm Clint Bowman. My mom is Joni Bowman, and I'm going to be a junior at Ronan High School. My favorite presentation of the whole camp. One of my favorite presentations was the council room talking about the drones that have cannons and how they use them to get rid of non-native plants around the reservation. AJ also shared about the plans for the future use of the drones. He said the small drone cost around 1,200. One career that interested me was restoration and natural resources. A possible career that caught my attention was, I would like to help around the land and wildlife and get rid of, or to get to the point where we don't worry about the animals losing their way of life. Helping manage natural resources so that they last for generations. They earn a higher average pay around 77,000 yearly. I think it's a good way to find new opportunities such as recreational activities, transportation projects, agriculture, residential buildings, commercial plants. How I viewed the camp. I was happy to go. I thought it sounded fun and like a really good opportunity to get an insight on some of my future careers. It was my hope to learn about the forestry and meet new people and make new friends.
Mine ain't up there, but how I viewed the camp at first was I was excited to go. There's a lot of people I knew that was going, like my friends, my brother, and my sister. When I first got there, it's kind of awkward, so I didn't know what to do. But then I started making friends with everybody else, so it was good. Nathan, Holzlegel, I think. But he was in the fisheries. He was my favorite presentation. Nathan and his team showed us what they do for work. This team goes out on Flathead Lake and then they put out fish nets to catch invasive fish. By catching invasive fish, they make room for native fish. They also inspect boats before they go out into the lake. They look for mussels and algae, which are invasive species. One of the careers I chose that were my favorite was wildlife biology, which is tied in with fisheries kinda, but I already talked about fisheries, so wildlife biologist. This career is projected to grow by 3% in the next few years. Wildlife biologists study animals in captivity and in the wild and how they interact with the ecosystem. How I view the camp now, after we're pretty much done with it, is it's a good way to learn about new jobs you could do that suit your interests. An example is the fisheries. A lot of people on the reservation fish and hunt. So fisheries would be a good job for someone who fishes and hunts.
How I viewed the camp. The way I viewed the camp has changed a lot. It was a lot more than I expected. I liked it more than I thought I would. Camp has had good information about forestry and the land. This was a good experience and a great way to meet new people. I felt like a lot of people who gave their time cared about teaching the younger generations about fishing and the land management. The careers are very important to the community and go uncredited.
We're done.
This will be our last group. And I want to say you've seen them before, some of you every year. We tried different ways. Last year, we assigned them by topic. This year, even though some of them say the same thing, I wanted you to see what they thought was important and get them talking more than just topic things. So that's why we did it this way. So thank you for your time, and here you go. Hit it, guys.
Hello, my name is Terrence Lozo. I am a graduate of Ronan High School. I'm a member of the the Blackfeet tribe, and I'm going to be going to NIC in Coeur d'Alene for my college this coming fall. My parents are Yvette Makes Coldweather, Leroy Black, and Kenneth Lozo.
My name is Isaac Pierre. I'm part of the Blackfeet Nation. And I am going to be a senior this fall at Polson High School. My parents are Renee Pierre and Francine Burnwald Pierre.
Hello, it's nice to meet you all. I'm Justin Velasco. I'm a graduate of Ronan High School, and I will be attending NIC in the fall. My parents are Art Velasco and Jolyn Lishman, and I'm from the Hopi and Santo Domingo Pueblo tribes.
We're doing the CSKT Division of Fire. We basically did our entire presentation based off of this. And so there's different paths in that division. So this is what this entire presentation is about. And that picture up there is a picture of the Mission Valley working jointly with the BIA, Oklahoma Hand Crews at the foot of Blue Bay Mountain Fire a couple years ago.
So this fire specifically is Boulder 2700, and this happened a little over 3 years ago, 2021. So this specific fire reached around 2,589 acres, and this specific forest fire was classified as one of the most highest profile fires in the country. Along with the destruction of this fire, it claimed about 14 houses and 17 personal structures, which forced a mass evacuation on the east shore, north of Finley Point and south of Blue Bay, which consisted of thousands of local people. When the fire broke out, there was a swift mobilization of about 20 men for the initial attack. There's about 4 to 5 pumper trucks. Shortly after, there was a full-scale mobilization, dozers, planes, and choppers. Men on the mountain claimed it was intimidating to see the buildings and houses burn down. Years after the fire, families still fight to rebuild. Boulder, which is now no longer overgrown and thick of brush, it was cleansed of the risk of more danger. It is my belief that if there was more prescribed burns in the immediate area, it's not like we knew this was going to happen either, so we can't predict. But if there was more prescribed burns in the area, incidents like this wouldn't spread as swiftly. We can't control wind and stuff like that, but we can clear up the slack and the thick brush and whatnot. However, this fire was made with arsonistic intent.
Pull your mic. Sorry.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Oh, it's.
However, this fire was made with arsonistic intent. It does not cover the fact that there was no previous prescribed burns due to the thick underbrush. Fires of this kind are feared, but the land that has been hit has been cleansed now. You'll find plenty of new life on the mountain, along with plants, fungi, and animals that are now coming to awake on that mountain.
I'll be covering the Elmo fire from 2022. So on July 29th of 2022, there was a small fire spotted on the side of Highway 28. And there was a quick response from smoke jumpers and firefighters in the area, but because of all of the dry grass and high winds, the fire ultimately spread way too fast. And in the first couple of days, maybe even the week, it was at 0% containment. But the fire eventually died down in late August, and by the end, the fire claimed 21,000 acres of land and 8 buildings, 4 of which were houses. And I believe that this fire it got so out of hand because of all the dry area and the high winds, but also because of how much just brush was in that area, it was able to spread quickly, aided by the wind. So I think if we can clear out some of that brush and get some prescribed fires, I think these types of fires wouldn't be as devastating.
There are currently 2 fire watches on the Flathead Reservation. This is the first one that is 6 miles east of Ronan. It is called the Crow Mountain Lookout. Its elevation is 7,138 feet. Our second fire watch is Saddle Mountain Lookout, located 11 miles south of the St. Ignatius, sorry about that. Elevation is 5,531 feet. My thoughts on this is that, the Boulder Fire has demonstrated that there's insufficient coverage in the northern and northwest regions of the reservation. I believe there should be at least 1 extra fire watch there because distress calls were apparently ignored for a duration of 1.5 hours. If a fire watch had been on duty, fire crews could have been deployed far more quickly. And I do understand that, it's just, it is pretty expensive. So I think it would be really worth the investment. It would definitely prevent more forest fires that threaten our homes, and it would also create fresh job opportunities and even maybe some volunteering opportunities for people that would want to work at a fire watch.
And now I'm going to talk a little bit about my future plans. So in the fall, I'll be attending North Idaho College for social work. And after that, I'll hopefully be pursuing a master's in psychology. I'm a people person, so my main goals in life are just to help other people, learn from them, and visit like different cultures, just so I can grow and expand as a person. And this camp it showed me a lot of different careers, not all of which were for me, but it solidified my goals into my future and what I want to do.
My plans for the future is, as you know, I already graduated from Ronan High School. So I'm going to be going to NIC or North Idaho College in Coeur d'Alene with Justin. I'm going to be going for business AS or business administrations. And for that, the reason for that is I want to open a skateboard shop or a skate shop slash, snowboarding, sports, stuff like that. And I feel like business would really help me be able to open something like that around here in this reservation. And I have connections with Borda Missoula, Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam, who have been very big mentors to me and have helped me along the way. And also, I want to expand on my skating career. I'm not the greatest yet, but aiming for that still. And another thing that I really want to do ever since a couple years ago, I seen this Firewatch tower on this hike we're doing. I forgot where we were, but I've seen that people just live up there and that's like their job. And you just stay away from people and just sit up there for like a whole summer. And, that's something I always wanted to do. I've always had an interest in that. So yeah.
This is Isaac Pierre. My plans for the future after this camp. The camp, to be honest, it really allowed me to hone in on my ideals. I always had plans, but I never really had a straight schedule of how those plans would go down. After a while, it kind of shot up a couple other jobs like fisheries and forestry, division of fire as well. Rob McDonald and stuff like that, Mike Dergalo, when they talked to us about those certain things. Invasive species, the fires recently, it brought my interest to it a little bit harder. So my plan after high school is to get in with the forestry program and work with either North or South greenhouse, preferably with Bad Ogden. And along with our firefighting divisional fire, I'd like to get into that seasonally. I'm not really looking forward to doing any school after high school, but I would get my certificate for welding, CDL, and stuff like that. After that would be Marine Corps, I should have had hot shot and smoke jumping before that, but it's not. Um, hot shot and smoke jumpers would be kind of my interest too. I really have a wide interest in that too. I have some families that are some of my family members that are smoke jumpers and hot shots, some Blackfeet hot shots as well. Um, after that would be International Legion Defense Week. That that camp allowed me to hone in on what I would want to do in my future life.
This next slide is how camp impacted us. So we all made a ton of friends. Pretty much literally everybody at the camp has talked and laughed with each other. We all hang out. We also gained priceless knowledge of our culture from, people like Arlene, who has really helped us, and we're really grateful for that. We also had deep conversations with these counselors and people who genuinely care for us, and that they're taking time out of their day and their weeks to come out here and teach us new things, and we're super grateful for that. Sunny Burke taught us how to play stick game. Most of us didn't even know how to play. Some of us did, some of us didn't. And the people who are learning are just playing it every day now. And it's something that, we're going to teach our friends and teach our families. And we're also super grateful for that. It gave us more insight on so many different career paths that we never knew existed that, genuinely interested us, such as firefighting, firewatch, government trapper, tick riders, etc. This camp overall is just like a really important, like, it's really important to everybody. Everybody here has learned something super important, and I think it's something we need here and something these guys definitely deserve. It's like, it's just something we need. Sorry.
Not just that, like he said, most of us when we came here, some of us didn't really know any each other and whatnot. There were groups and cliques that stuck together, but over time, after like 3 days, 4 days at the most, everybody started kind of molding into each other and they started talking. We all started talking, becoming more friends and started doing stuff together, which we didn't really think would happen, but not just that, the amount of jobs that we learned about. Um, Renee says you can't have, you can't prepare for a job that you don't know exists. But we learned about so many jobs, not just these jobs. They weren't all for us or me specifically, but there were a couple of them that stuck out and helped me get solid with my future. Thank you.
This camp, I've learned a lot of stuff culturally about the tribes in this area, and I've learned some songs, I've learned just regular traditions from you guys, and it's made me want to go visit my tribes and learn my culture. And I don't know, it's just made me miss my people, if that makes sense.
I'd just like to say thank you for listening to us, and I hope this keeps going on. And thank you.
It takes a village to put on a program. Arlene's camped out. She does a wake up song every day. Sunny, we had Coral and Kenny Loring. The Blue Bay staff stayed up at night to guard from bears and gophers, and and Virgil as the director and the whole team there. Just it's been 10 days. It'll be tomorrow, and it was cold, and we did a lot of driving. We did a lot of things, and I just want to thank the whole team, and I want to thank you guys for putting in the time to listen every day. I mean, every year. And if you have any questions or anything, of the students or anybody, just let us know.
Good, Lynn. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and member of the council, Renee and staff. Thank you for bringing in the kids today. It's always a good way to end the day after a long day that we've had. But I just wanted to give a message to the kids. It takes a lot of courage to sit up there and give a presentation. And each one of you done a spectacular job. I seen the confidence in you. And that is what you need to get through life, is confidence in yourself. And I seen that a program like this brings confidence into the kids because they're our future leaders. They don't know it, but some of them are going to be sitting up here. You know, yes, and that's good. But I just want to mention to them that be confident in yourself. And every moment every opportunity that you get, speak in front of people, because there's going to come a time when you're going to be asked to lead. And so you need to be ready physically, emotionally, and spiritually to do that. And I want to just once again thank you all for the presentation today. It was spectacular. It gives us hope. So thank you.
Go ahead, James.
Thank you. One thing I want to encourage you, those of you that are talking about going to college or university, just remember that you are making an investment. You are paying them to give you an education. So ask them tough questions. If you're going to North Idaho or wherever you're going and you talk to staff people at those colleges, ask them tough questions. They should be doing things for you. And sometimes the colleges and universities and higher education get it backwards. They just treat you as a number. And so I just encourage you, if you go to college anywhere, you ask them tough questions, put them on the spot. You know, why should I come to this college? Ask them that question. Why should I come here? They need to get you there and just put them on the spot. Whatever college or university you're going to, put them on the spot and make them answer the question, why should I come to this college? And if they don't answer in the right way, you go somewhere else. All right, just don't do like I did, just went to the first one I went to. Do different. You pick where you want to go. And if you don't feel good there, then go somewhere else. Anyway, but thank you all for the presentation. I particularly did not know about a tick rider. I learned something new. I guess I should have known that, but I didn't know there was such a thing, but I really thought that was awesome. So thank you all for the presentations.
Thanks, James. Bing?
First of all, I want to welcome all you students here to visit us today, and it was an honor for you to be here with us and hear of your expectations and plans of what's you plan on doing down the road here. I want to thank Renee and staff for bringing them here. But I worked with the summer youth group years and years ago when they had it at Polson, and we had groups like this there. Did the same thing, camped out in teepees all summer long, and brought them all over, did work and whatnot all over the reservation here. But it's good to see that groups like this that's happening. And to tell the students, don't let anybody try to not try to stop you from doing what you want to do. I had that happen to me when I got out of school. They laughed at me because I wanted to be a basketball coach. And they said that after they did that, I thought, well, maybe I can't go on to school to do that. So I didn't get to go. I didn't go at all. And I just started to work. And that's all I've done all my life. All my life I've worked. I've been working in April was 40 years that I've been with the tribe. Drive from, I worked about 42 miles. Lived about 42 miles south of here, down close to the Gray Wolf Casino down there, and we drive here every day. For 40 years I've done this. And it's good to see you young people have these plans. I see one man was going to go to the U.S. Marine Corps. It's good that you're going to go there. I went there too. So anyway, know what you're going to do and stay focused on that plan. It's good that you're here to hear that you all have some sort of plan that you want to do, go on to school and whatnot. It's good to hear that. And I just want to commend you for that. So I want to wish you all good luck. And again, I want to thank you for coming to visit us.
Thank you, Bing. Jimmy?
Yeah, Leonard, to all of you, I want to say thank you and really appreciate the great presentation from all these young folks that did an excellent job. I mean, it's really great to see them be able to just sit up here and talk about maybe their future, what they might want to do. And that's what I hope. I hope they don't give that up and just go for it. Go for whatever you're going to do in your life and have a good life and just enjoy it. You got a lot of good teachers, people that are showing you what it's like out here, what you can learn, what for your road, and it's just awesome to learn from these folks and to hear these guys up here talk about you. I mean, we just wish you well. I just want to say low lunch and good luck to you.
Danielle?
I gotta echo what everybody's already said. This was amazing. My favorite part of today. You guys are so brave. I wouldn't have been brave enough to do what you guys did at that age. And you guys are focusing on your future and on yourselves, and just really proud of you guys. And thank you guys for sharing this experience with us.
I guess I get to say something last, which has already been said, but again, thank you all for coming in today. Always impressive to see our youth and just know that the opportunities out there are something you really should take advantage of. And this is one of those opportunities that, we have all around us that, a lot of kids don't have. And so take advantage of all the opportunities of the tribe or the college or whatever opportunity, or other options out there. Sitting on that table, even for me to sit down there is weird. And this is a weird setup where we're higher than everyone, which we shouldn't be. We always feel like we talk about that membership's above us. And so we shouldn't cower over them and intimidate people. So it's always something to get over with. And public speaking is something that I never thought I'd do or do well at. And I do it all the time now. And so just like James said, the practice is important. Sitting there being respectful is really nice too. All you guys were really good at that. And with that, I'll send you on your way. Enjoy Virgil. Thank you for being here as well. You're hiding in the back, but I know you're an important part of this as well. So, and all the staff and everyone that put this on, thank you guys all for taking care of our kids.
I forgot a couple things. I'd like to, and thank you all for taking time to speak here at the end. I want to recognize Jesse and his mom, Luann Hoskinson. Jesse's been with us 3 years in safeguarding. He started the first year when we were, oh, there you are. I forgot, Luann's been on staff and they've been up going to House of Mystery, rafting, but Jesse's been with us 3 years. Just if you don't have to say something, but here you are. Okay.
Hello, my name is Jesse Hoskinson. So before I met Renee, I was mostly just considering a career in tech or something like that, which was something I was fairly good at, but not really passionate about. And so then after going through the camp, I got to talk to people like, especially Gary with APHIS, kind of, they opened my mind to all the other possibilities. And like my brother, he was always he was always passionate about the wildlife and the wilderness, but I wasn't always so much that way. But I always did have a respect for it. I just didn't have much opportunity to show it. And now Renee kind of, the program opened my eyes to more possibilities and kind of steered me in a different direction to something I'd be more passionate about doing. And so, yeah, that's this fall I'll be attending SKC for wildlife and fisheries.
Okay, that's it. We're having a, thank you. He's my rock. We're having a banquet, ending dinner banquet right across at the gym. You're all more than welcome. Tick riders are in mainly Texas along the panhandle there. Last year we learned about bear cowboys in Browning. They ride horses and do things to discourage grizzlies. So tick riders aren't around here, but we could consider it. Thank you all very much.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. We will adjourn for the day at whatever time it is. Thanks, Abby. Have a good weekend.